AU in Nashville. Then people can go overseas too, but this is a whole new one. And this one offers a lot of money. And that's why people are like moving towards this.
And you're not going to believe the bombshell that just dropped in the world of women's basketball. Sophie Cunningham, on her own podcast, just blew the lid off a major story that has everyone's head spinning. She officially confirmed that Caitlin Clark, without a doubt the single biggest star in the sport, flat out rejected an offer from the new league, Project B, and get this. It was after Sophie personally tried to recruit her. This single revelation throws a massive wrench into the future of these new off-season leagues and raises some serious questions about what Caitlin's decision really means for every other player who decided to sign up. So before we dive deep into exactly what Sophie said, word for word, and why Caitlin's rejection of Project B is sending shockwaves through the entire sport, I want to know what you think. Let me know down in the comments. Do you believe Caitlin made the absolute right call by turning down this league? Because her choice, her single no, might just be the deciding factor in whether Project B even succeeds or ultimately fails before it ever truly begins. Okay, before we get any deeper into this, let's make sure we're all on the same page about the context here, because it is absolutely crucial. Project B isn't just some random startup. It's a brand new global basketball league that's slated to launch next year, and it has some seriously heavy hitters backing it. We're talking about names like NFL legend Steve Young and tennis icon Novak Djokovic. The league's big promise is to take its players to 7 different exotic markets all around the globe. And here's where it gets really interesting. It's positioning itself as a direct competitor to Unrivaled, which is the league famously started by WNBA superstars Breanna Stewart and Nafisa Collier. So you can already feel the tension building, right? When Sophie Cunningham signed with Project B, especially after she had already turned them down twice before, that alone was huge news. But her on-the-record confirmation that Caitlin Clark herself rejected the league, that is a development on a completely different stratosphere of significance. Let me break down why this is so critical. Caitlin Clark is, bar none, the most marketable and influential player in women's basketball today. She is the engine that drives mainstream attention. She's the one who puts fans in the seats, sells out arenas, and causes television ratings to spike to unprecedented levels. In short, she's the one who makes casual sports fans stop what they're doing and actually care about women's basketball. So when you have a brand new league desperately trying to establish itself, fighting for attention, for sponsors, and for resources, landing Caitlin Clark would have been the ultimate seal approval. It would be the kind of legitimacy stamp that signals to sponsors, to major media partners, and to fans all over the world that this league is the real deal and absolutely worth paying attention to. Sophie tried to personally recruit her, and Caitlin just shut it down. Think about that for a second. This isn't just some random player on the fringe saying no. This is the undisputed face of the entire sport. The biggest draw in the game, looking at what you're building and saying, I'm not interested in what you're selling. That should be a massive flashing red flag for absolutely everyone involved with Project B. I mean, if you can't even convince the biggest star in the game to come on board, how in the world are you going to convince skeptical fans, high-powered sponsors, and major media networks that your league is a worthy investment of their time and money? Now, to be fair, Sophie did provide some of the context that explains what makes Project B so appealing to her. She got into the details, talking about how the league will travel to 7 unique markets across the globe, spending a dedicated block of time in each location before packing up and moving on. She even mentioned the breakdown: 2 markets in Asia, 2 in Europe, 2 spanning North and South America, and 1 more somewhere else in the world. For her, this setup is a dream. It gives her the opportunity to travel the world, to immerse herself in different cultures, and to still have enough time off to pursue her other interests without having to grind through a full year of basketball.